Hey, awesome family. Today is the 30th of December 2023, almost New Year's Eve. And I'm going to be talking kind of quiet because not a lot of privacy where I'm at. And I'm sorry there's no picture, but at least the screen is back. So I'm kind of sad, to be honest. Was crying earlier and just asking Father, what is this all about? What are we here for? I'm like, I don't even have a purpose anymore. I don't feel no one listens. And when I tell them, things that Father gives me, they either laugh, usually just totally ignore and pretend you don't hear, or try to make it like I'm not speaking truth. Try to nitpick little things and say, one person said it sounds fishy. And just using that word led me into this when that person said that. And what I was saying was truth. Exposing some of the things the wicked cops have done to me over the years, over and over and over again. And just really sad. An innocent person was found dead, and I believe it was due to the corrupt, and because she didn't give her life to Jesus, maybe she wasn't protected, or maybe she was protected and Father just took her home because she couldn't bear the torture anymore. But the whole point of this is Father gave me this word, and as soon as he did, I had multiple gang stalking robots completely surround me, complete with hammering on a car engine parked outside the room. On the engine, they lifted the hood up and started hitting the engine with a hammer. Who does that? And then all kinds of noise harassment right as I'm being downloaded this word. And I'm like, I'm just tired of it, Lord. I can't escape all the noise harassment, all the triggering and provoking, and just constantly being by myself. People are saying, oh, it's your season of solitude. No, this has been for years. Since 2015, I've been completely by myself. And, I may make a friend, use the term lightly, in the world, and they always turn into Judases. And Father will already warn me about them, but I will go ahead and hang out with them anyway, which is always something disastrous happens to me because they're Judases. But if you've been alone for that long, and then even before that, I was really alone, but I still had a boyfriend or whatever, but they were part of the gang stalking as well. But, at least I had someone to talk to, although they usually just made fun of me as narcissists do, or ignored me, or changed the subject, or called me crazy or whatever. But at least you had another, what you thought was a human there. And that's leading me to this word, okay? What we have been thinking are human beings around us this whole time, Father is showing me some have never been real. Some have never been humans. In this particular, the last person I ever dated, who I told you about it, I'm not sure if my ribs were actually broken because I never went to the doctor because I don't trust them. I never have, not even from a young age. It's like Father showed me all these things. I already knew these things growing up. Before YouTube or any kind of online thing, I just knew them in my spirit. Not to trust them or whatever. But when you're a child, you're forced to go to the doctor. Anyway, the whole point is, this last boyfriend I had, which was right as I started this channel, so it's been over 7 years, is when we broke up. And he either broke or he fractured my ribs. Anyway, he said this to me, and I've never said this online. I did say this to maybe 3 or 4 people throughout the years, who, of course, were Judases. But I just wanted to vent it and get another person's opinion. So now I'm going to tell you something this gang stalking ex-boyfriend told me a long time ago. He started drinking and he let his guard down. I believe that he actually did fall in love with me. Most of them don't, because they don't have the capacity to love. They're all narcissists, all of our stalkers. But there's a few that maybe have some sort of a capacity to love, or maybe just because he was drinking, he slipped. It could be one of those things. I don't know. But the whole point is, he said something very strange, and it's stuck in my head for eight or 9 years now, because he said it when we first started dating. So I'm going to say about 9 years ago he said this. Because like I said, we dated a couple years and then we broke up right as I was starting this channel. So he just looked at me, and a couple of things the first month that we dated would slip out when he drank. And he said he wanted to help me but didn't know how. And to me, that was like, he didn't really want to be a stalker, but he didn't know how to get out of it. And then the other thing he said is what I'm about to tell y'all, which was very, very strange. He looked at me and just got real quiet, and then we were, I don't know what we were talking about. We were having like a pretty deep conversation about some things, and then he just out of the blue changed the subject and said, "Do you ever feel like you're a robot?" And I went, "What?" Because I've never felt that way. And he said, "Well, when I was younger, I used to ask my mom if I was a robot. I felt like," and the way he described it was these old gas station pumps back maybe, I remember them vaguely when I was, a child. My parents would, or my dad actually, would pump gas, and these old gas pumps had these numbers that went across them, for the price, and they would roll over, click, 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 and there'd be like a row of them, so you get to like $20 or whatever, and they would roll like a click. And he said that's what he felt, that if he looked inside his chest, that's what he had inside him. And he said chest, inside his chest, not his stomach, not his arm, his chest. What is in your chest? That's your heart. Could these creatures actually have never been human to begin with? And therefore they don't have hearts. Like how the Grinch was so mean because he had a shrunken heart. And once he showed love and let love in and wasn't jealous and spiteful and conniving and stealing and lying and all the kind of things that gang stalkers do and those that sold out to the system, he was able to love. And when you start to let love in, you can love yourself and love others. So when it says we should love others as ourselves, gang stalkers do not have the capacity to love themselves. So how can they love us? And that really hit me. And I'm like, Father, what is this place? Why am I here still? I'm in my 50s, y'all, okay? And I've been aware that I was targeted since 2012, but it started way before that. I started noticing that I wasn't like everybody else. In high school, I ate my lunch in a bathroom stall alone because I wasn't welcome at any other tables, because we had tables in the cafeteria. And then when I was able to drive, I would just eat lunch in my car, or just drive somewhere at a park or something and just eat lunch by myself. And that started in high school. I really started being targeted, noticing it really strongly back maybe in 7th or 8th grade. But the whole point is I was always different. I never cared about school. I don't know how I passed. I passed and I never studied. I could care less. To me, all it was memorization. You're not learning anything. You're memorizing from the fake, phony system that made all this stuff up. And so I would either draw in class, I would make jokes, I still, back then I still made people laugh. They weren't completely zombified. Some wouldn't laugh, they'd just stare straight ahead. But others that seemed to be human, they would actually laugh or whatever. I like to clown around and, do little art projects, and just didn't care about it. Didn't care about going to college, didn't care about getting married. Nothing that the system tells us to do. It's like I've always been odd, okay, and always been cast out. This is not a poor me. I don't feel sorry for myself at all. I feel grateful that Father showed me these things. Never voted, never owned a home, haven't owned a vehicle in over, 12 years now. Just a lot of things that took me out of the system. That Father, I believe, was protecting us from being locked in to this satanic system. So my whole point is, I was asking Father earlier today, what is this? Why am I here? What is the purpose now? I'm trying to reach people. No one is listening, or they actually think we're insane, maybe. Most know that we're not, but they just don't care to listen. They've turned a blind eye. They've been given over to a strong delusion. And Father said, this earth is a school of sorts, okay? We're in school. Are you going to choose to sell out and harm others and become gang stalkers, which almost all of the communities that I've been in over the last 4 or 5 years, entire cities are all part of it now? Whereas before the scamdemic, you'd still have maybe 20-30% that were. Now it's everywhere. And I'm like, I can't be the only real person that didn't bow down and do this. And Father said, no, you are my remnant. There is a remnant. This channel's been blocked. It's stuck at 233. And it went up to 234 about a month ago. And then within an hour or two, I don't know, it was when I noticed next, maybe a couple hours, it dropped back down to 233 in front of my eyes. And it did it again yesterday. I'm like, oh, I'm finally out of the 3-3 Freemason thing and the 23, the numbers they like to use, ritual numbers and the 33rd degree and all that. Nope, they dropped it back down to 233. It's been stuck like that for over a year or two. So Father said that he's showed me this for a long time, that the true end-time saints, I call us angels on the front lines for Jesus Christ, which is what Father told me some of us are, and some of y'all know that you are. Y'all are able to get through, but you've gotten through from a long time before. All those that are talking about being chosen and the chosen ones, and they have these big followings and they're being promoted and they get all these donations and all this. They're working for the system, okay? They would not be promoted. They would not be getting new subs all the time. They would not be getting donations. I get donations from one person, which helps me with food. I'm very grateful to you, sister, over the years. And then a few of y'all will randomly, might donate $5. This past month, I got $100, and I'm very grateful. And I was able to bless the person that helped me when I was freezing cold for 6 nights and 7 days. And I did video it. I did not show her face or anything, but you can hear her talking. I will share that with y'all later if Father tells me to, because we're supposed to do things in secret. And Father sees what we do, but I just wanted to say, I wanted to bless the one person in the entire city when they stole my wallet, and therefore I couldn't even get a hotel, and I was stranded. It was below freezing for 2 of the 6 nights, below freezing. And it took 3 days for the feeling in my hands to come back, but somehow I was okay. My hands are okay. I'm okay. 2 days it took that I was laying under the covers just shaking. One person finally helped me. No one would even give me water. I hid behind a dumpster because it got really windy, and they threw bottles at the dumpster. People tried to spit on me when I walked by. I was mocked and security ran me out of a warm lobby as well as out of a stairwell because I was just trying to get out of the wind. And it was still freezing in the stairwell, but it was better than being right in the wind. And the security guard got on his walkie-talkie and said, "We got a homeless here," and made me go not only outside, but walked me across the sidewalk to the other side of the street because they didn't want my kind on their side of the sidewalk. I was just treated so awful. So this one person helped me. So I was able to bless her back. So you, one person that donated, thank you so much. Let's see. You know what? I'll go ahead and show it. I don't think it shows my location. And for some reason, this is a new phone that I'm actually able to record on. Yes, that's right. I'm finally able to record some of this beep that goes on. But when I walk from outside to inside, the screen goes black. But you can hear her talking, okay? But I never wanted to aim it at her anyway. But I'll just show y'all. And the reason why because I try to help whenever I can, all right? Even if it's just $2, $3 to a homeless person or whoever God guides me to, or if it's a hug, if I don't have that, or if it's, more or less, or if it's clothing, because I can only take so much clothes with me. I'm on foot and, carrying suitcase. I'm limited to clothing and my personal items. So what I'll do is I like to go to a lot of resale shops, or if I have an address, I can buy stuff online that's cheaper. And then like when I'm going from summer to winter and I'm moving again, then I'll give away the summer items to homeless shelters. Or if I meet a homeless person that's my size, if it's my size and your size, doesn't that make it our size? Aloha, Mr. Hen. But anyway, the whole point is, I normally don't ever show this, but I just wanted to show y'all because I feel Father is telling us that if there is one person in your community or where you're at or wherever you're guided to that actually is being kind to you, you need to make note of that, okay? And tell them thank you. Give them a hug or whatever you can do. So unfortunately, she was super nice when I first went there asking for help and explaining my situation and everything. But when I went back, she was cordial, but you could tell they'd got to her. She walked away. She greeted me when I walked in. It's just a little lobby. It's a cheap motel, okay? She was the front desk that helped me. She walked away. She walked up, and then when she saw it was me and I said, "Remember me?" She said, "Oh yeah, from whatever." You'll hear it. I haven't actually replayed this but once, so I don't know what all was said. But and then she said, "My manager's in the back." It was almost like she was saying, "I can't be nice to you. I can't be caught being friends with you or talking to you." And it's like, some of these people really know that we are kind hearts, y'all, and they really want to help, but they can't, or they'll lose their jobs or whatever else. So most of them have been paid off, and a lot are not human anymore. So anyway, let me see if I can find it. Talk amongst yourselves. I think this is it. Here it is. So today is December 20th, 2023. Pretty freezing cold out. But if y'all don't know my story, I had gotten my wallet stolen that had my debit card in it and my phone, so I couldn't even call for help. And not one person in the entire city would give me water or even let me come inside. Most of the hotels were empty. Including being chased out of a hotel lobby, not bothering anybody, to get warm by a security guard that called for backup saying he had a homeless in there. Without a debit card, you can't rent a hotel room. But this kind person that I'm about to thank, she actually, here they come. There will be a lot of Freemasons coming around, just watch. Anyway, this one lady allowed me to get a room overnight. And it took 3 days for my hands to recover. They were so cold. So this is what I'm about to do. One of y'all donated. Thank you. Sorry for the noise. One of y'all donated to me $100, and I'm gonna give it to her. This is the card I got her. The world needs more kind hearts. And then show me the money. Here's the money. And then it says, kind hearts like you. And it says, Keisha, what you did to help me meant more than you know. Hebrews 13:2, which is be careful when entertaining strangers, for in doing so some have entertained angels unaware. That was the scripture I flipped to today, y'all. Most High God sees your kind heart. You will be greatly rewarded. And that will be in heaven. I didn't write that part. Most others fall under Matthew 25:42-45, which is when I was hungry, you fed me not. When I was thirsty, you gave me no water. When I was cold, you sheltered me not. All that. So I got to put the phone down real quick. Got to make it stop real quick. Oh boy. I'm sorry, y'all. Now I don't know what it's doing. Hold on, let me fast forward it. But if y'all don't know my story, I had gotten my wallet stolen. It had my debit card in it. And okay, let me fast forward. Okay. Just so you can see this. When I was hungry, you fed me not. When I was thirsty, you gave me no water. When I was cold, you sheltered me not. All that. So I got to put the phone down real quick. Got to make it stop real quick. Y'all notice there's no cars in the parking lot. And that was almost all the hotels. I went to the cheaper hotels, and none of them had gas, but no one would help me. See, now this is going off. 3 days for me to recover the feeling. Oh, I put the phone down. That's why. Sorry, my bad. And again, no one would help me. They even ran me out of a couple of bathrooms. One in which I was scooping the water. I was so dehydrated. I was outside for 6 days. Okay. I scooped. It was actually 7 days and 6 nights. Of the sink in the bathroom. So anyway. Yeah, security ran me out of a bathroom too. Each one was different security, because I was getting water out of a sink with my hands. Keisha, do you remember me? Oh yes, ma'am. From the other night. I just wanted to say, yeah, I got my wallets. Just so you know. Let me rewind it. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know how they tamper with us. Everything is tampered with. So here I go into here. You'll see me go in the door, but then you can just hear. I aimed it at the floor, but it goes blank for some reason, or black. Keisha, do you remember me? Oh yes, ma'am. From the other night. I just wanted to say, yeah, I got my wallet. Just so you know, I had my wallet stolen. Luckily, my ID was in my pants pocket. But you can't get a hotel without a debit card, right? Or a credit card. And you were the only one in the whole city that would help me. I hid behind a dumpster. I'm really not joking you. To shield myself from the cold. It took 3 days for my hands to get the feeling back in my hands. I went into a different hotel just to get out of the cold because the lobby was open and a security guard called for backup, saying he had a homeless in there. After I explained I'm not homeless. No, because I actually talked to my boss right here. Uh-huh. Yeah, they said that, Sorry. No one would help me. They wouldn't even let me get water. So anyway, I just wanted to give you this and say, God bless you. You're sweet. You're going to be blessed by the Most High God. He sees what you did. Okay, bye-bye. Then that's me leaving. Okay, so I gave it to her, and I don't know if this got a street sign or not.
In private, which I normally always do, but this one particular time I wanted you to know one person donated again, and that's where your money just went, because there's only a few kind hearts left, y'all. We need to acknowledge them. Anyway, I'm out.
Okay, the rest of it shows my location. But, so I gave that to her. And Father blessed me. Father protected me. That whole time I was outside, no matter all the stuff they were doing, I was protected. So I want to say thank you to the sister that donated, as well as the one sister that you always donate, and you help me with food some months. Some months I'm okay without it, and some months I need it. But I'm blessed to have a room again, because it's really cold again. My feet are frozen off. But I just wanted to say, Father sees our heart. This is a test about our heart. Are you going to harden your heart and sell out and participate in the reindeer games? Or are you going to be like us? We're the castaways, the castouts, okay? And Father said, our time is almost up here. Brother Timothy, shout out to you. Prayers for you. Can everybody say prayers for Brother Timothy? He's having a really hard time. But what I wanted to talk about, hopefully this won't cut me off. I may make another video. I may upload this and then make another video about this place being a school, and that a lot of these stalkers around us are not human. We're not dealing with human beings. The way I see it, there's no way a human being, nor even a person possessed with a demon, could do all this, could be able to pull all this stuff off. Where an example would be, no matter what time, if it's 5 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, 8 at night, it doesn't matter what time. Whenever I go to the window and either glance out in passing, walking past the window and glance out, or go, in the morning, you open your curtains to let the light in, there is someone that appears and either slams a car door, revs their car engine, honks their horn, turns on a car alarm, starts hammering, leaf blowers appear, or someone will be standing by the window pointing at me, cussing at me, just whatever. And it's not every other time, y'all. It's every single time. There's no way that every time you go out your door, it's the same type of vehicle, the same color vehicle, and the people driving it are in the same color. All the people that surround always wear the same color. There is no way. And Father's showing me that they are not human beings. So when my ex said that about, he felt like a robot and had like a clicker in his chest, he's actually seeing what he is. And maybe he was capable of some sort of a little bit of love in the beginning, and that's why he confessed that when he drank. Or maybe it was because it was the first month we started dating when he said those things, that he wasn't as strong as me, he couldn't do what I did. And he wanted to help me, and that the robot comment. And then soon after that, he just became completely evil. Even going so far, this is before breaking my ribs or fracturing them. He dumped a trash can full of rotten food and rotten eggs that he had taken the eggs and cracked them, put them in the trash can, and dumped it over my head. Just wicked things like that. And I believe possibly what he said in the beginning was to get me to lower my guard, which I did. So maybe that's why, because robots are not capable of love. So as we see AI taking over, and you hear about the robot went against its controller and all these things, this is what's taking place. Like that movie, I Am Robot or whatever. I think it had Will Smith in it. I don't even think I saw it. I might have saw parts of it or something. Anyway, so Father said that you, remnant, we are the remaining seed of Father. We are, what are seeds? You scatter seeds, right? We are scattered throughout the world. because there's only a small amount of us, which hence the 144,000, out of the entire earth, everyone else by default is working for the enemy. Some knowingly, and they're just wicked. Some unknowingly are being controlled by 5G and all the other brainwashing things, nanotech and all that. Some by demonic spirits, and some are empty shells that demons have possessed, and some were never and are not human, okay? And so that's how they're doing these things. They don't have expressions a lot of times. They walk kind of robotically. It's because that's actually what they are. So when Father gave me this message, he said, I said, how come all these other, like, I'm not going to name channels, okay, but there's channels with, and they're blowing up, and they've only been on YouTube a few years, some maybe longer, but whatever. Some are new and they're blowing up. And no, I'm not jealous. Get that out of the way. I could care less, but I'm just wondering why only a certain amount are being blocked, and everything, like, they've already taken down over, I'm going to say over 30, maybe more, I haven't counted, of my old videos, some from 3 years ago, over the past month, in 1 month, y'all. So basically that's a video a day that they've removed. They have not given me another strike though. And I said to Father, well, why haven't they just removed this channel? And he's told me this before, I'll say it again. Because the enemy's camp does not know everything. Satan does not know everything. He's not all-knowing and all-seeing like our Father who art in heaven. So he listens to what some of us that are the true remnant of the Most High God, what some of us say, so they get more information. So Father has been telling me not to disclose extra things. One of the reasons that I don't show my face anymore is because they have to get the witches that are doing witchcraft on us, okay, on the remnant. They have to see our energy, hence why they take pictures a lot. And so pictures that were from a year ago, 6 months ago, maybe even a couple weeks ago, are not going to give off the same energy as currently, okay? They do spell casting that way. There's a lot of different reasons, but the main reason besides that is because Father said, well, for me, it's hard for me to focus on what Father's giving me if I'm watching my face as I'm talking. And it's hard not to watch the screen when you're talking. But I feel that I'm being a distraction because I talk with my hands, man. So I don't want to make this at all about me. It's about who sent us, the Most High God, saving souls in the end time. But what Father is showing me now is that the line in the sand, he told me this a month ago, the line in the sand has been drawn. The wheat and the tares have now been separated. And that's what I wanted to show y'all, or tell y'all. Father gave me the message. The reason why the fake chosen, and they call them you chosen ones, and they're blowing up all these different videos. And you chosen, they're mad because they're jealous. They're mad. Our channel's growing because they're jealous of us, the chosen, right? The chosen on that, I think it was a TV show or something. I never watched it, but I skipped that class. It's fake. Satan will give truth. He knows the Bible better than anybody because he was up there, okay? So he had thousands of years to study it. So he spreads truth, but it's mixed with lies that will send people into the pit. And that's what that TV show was about, from just the few little things that I read about it. I read things about it, okay? And that's the same with all the fake online. And what made me sick to my stomach when I got up this morning, I got online. Normally I did pray, I said my small, 5-minute prayer, but I didn't go into prayer. I hadn't read the Bible yet, but I wanted to click online real quick because I had seen something about, troops coming in last night and all that. And what popped, I just wanted to see, are they here or whatever? Because I feel like something's going down New Year's Eve, but who knows when. And what popped into my feed was a very well-known YouTuber, very well-known as a supposed targeted individual, and his buddy, who were exposing a fake chosen targeted individual, which I do agree. I just saw the face and I already knew he was fake. I've never been able to listen to him. He gives me a stomach ache, but these other two are as well. And I'm like, why would they be exposing that guy? They're all part of the same community, and it's because that's part of what their mission is. Hear that? They just hit my door. Hold on. Someone just came by and banged on my door. Wow. And there's nobody there, y'all. They must have run. I mean, they could have just ran around the corner. Little gin and juice, but I really don't wanna. Anyway, so they are sent in to cause chaos and confusion and distract and make it to where the true elect of the Most High God are being ridiculed. I've been called a reptilian, a witch, a high-ranking witch. So I got that going for me. A fallen angel, a false prophet, just all these different things. And it's like, constant sabotage of the channel and sabotage of me trying to get anything out. My computer hacked, my phone's hacked or stolen, all these different kinds of things to suppress those that really do have the truth, that really are the kind hearts. So the only ones now, Father's showing, that are going to believe us and listen to us, this is for you remnant on here, 10%, are others like us, okay? The wheat and the tares have been separated. So when Father gave me this about why the two fakes tag teamed up on the other fake chosen targeted individual, okay, is to cause more chaos and confusion. They're not real. When he gave me this, it was 1250. So I looked up 1250 in Strong's. In Hebrew Strong's, it means corn and grain of any kind. What is grain? Grain is the harvested seed of grasses such as wheat, an oak tree. Yeah, we're strong like an oak tree. Oats, rice, and barley. Wheat, get it? The wheat and the tares have been harvested, separated. Okay? Corn and grain. Sorry. Let me get some water. Everybody calm down and get a cup of water. They grow up in an open field together, which is also Job 39:4. That's Greek, okay? That's Hebrew. And in Greek, it means 200. Who were the 200? We know who they are. The fallen. In Greek, you say it diakosia. Diakosia, I think. Okay? And it's tied in with Revelation 12:6. And the woman, this is what I got at 12:50 p.m. That number is tied in with Revelation 12:6. And the woman fled to the wilderness where she had a place prepared of God that they should feed her. There are 1,200, and then it's got the G 1250 in the Bible, in the King James, and 60 days. Okay, grain is the harvested seed of grasses such as wheat, growing in an open field together. So the 200, the fallen angels and their serpent seed, were growing in the field with the Most High's remnant, okay? The original seed. We did not take all of us knew in our hearts. It was written in our hearts. I'm not bragging, this isn't about me, we know who we are, okay? And we can spot the fakes, but we'll let our guard down and let one in because we get so lonely always being isolated, okay? And made homeless and harassed and stalked and falsely set up and, incarcerated or put into mental institutions, whatever. They like to use the corrupt cops to harass me a lot. But, and trigger and provoke because they're always around, right? But it gets lonely and then we'll let our guard down. And that's always been my downfall, is the people around me, the friends around me, because they are the tares. They've been growing up with us this whole time, and now they're being exposed. So only those with the Holy Spirit are able to see what's going on. We knew not to take it. Back in 2019, it was actually one of my favorite videos, and they took that down. If anybody saved that video, please put it in the comments. I was wearing ponytails, okay? 2 ponytails on either side. And I was sitting on the floor in this room I had rented for a week with a bed on the floor, and they were torturing me with nonstop noise. It was incidentally the same week that I saw a giant fallen fly over the side of the roof of the garage at midnight, mind you. Huge black wing and a horrible screeching noise, which now they're saying they're hearing coming out of the Euphrates River. That's what it sounded like, okay? It is the only time I've ever seen a fallen without its body, or without a vessel. Like, it's not its body, but without occupying a vessel, which looks like a human. It was horrible, and I knew something was about to take place. And I made a video talking about the you-know-what I believed was the mark of the you-know-what. Can't say it anymore. How about we say busiest? But for shizzle. And they took that video down. Saying again, once again, giving medical information. No one was talking about this then. Why? Because they're not real. They're not one of us. That's why. There was a few of us that were speaking of these things. And they're being silenced as well. So I just wanted to tell y'all that's what's up. I am going to make another video. I got to upload this first. I have a video uploading from yesterday that's still uploading. It was over an hour long, so I may have to delete it and try to upload this. Maybe it'll upload. Check back in a little bit, because I may come back on. I want to talk about some more things, lots more things that Father's showing me, but I'm making this too long. But I'll come back on after this, and I will talk about what to do about being the remnant in the end time, okay? I love y'all. I love you, family, so much, and I'm so grateful for y'all.